What is good, Neo family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about the one and only Neo stock and what I think is going to play out for the future of this company. I'm also going to be answering the question, can Neo actually break past $100 a share this year? Now, before I say anything about this, before I talk about where I see Neo going, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, guys. This is all for educational purposes only, and also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you will not only qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each with up to $3,500, but you're also going to qualify for free real-time level 2 data for US stocks with $0 in trading commissions. So please check that out, guys. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Neo, the chart's looking very good in my opinion. Now, this is one of the theories that many people use to analyze charts, and you can use this from a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week basis, a year-to-year basis, or even for many, many years, so to speak. Now, what does this mean for Neo? And I'm talking about a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So the way this works is when many stocks have their prices kind of like fluctuating, moving back and forth, this is often because of the practices from these institutions that dictate the price. Now, they short stocks in certain ways, and Neo has very high dark pool, or should I say, offlet exchange volume, right? I've been showing you guys that over the past few days, or at least past few weeks. It's usually between like I would say high 40s to 60% range, which means that Neo is a heavily manipulated stock, in my opinion. Now, what does this mean for Neo going forward? And now we could actually pinpoint where the levels of support and resistance are, at least the major ones, to really understand where this thing is going. So Wyckoff represents what are these big institutions doing, these people that have a lot of money that can dictate the stock prices, right? This is known as the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And basically, there are many phases to it, but I'm actually looking at a more simplified chart that's not breaking out all of the phases. Now, the way this works is you have big institutions, these composite mans. What they do is they short these stocks in certain ways. They let this thing drop. They let certain stocks drop. Then they have psychologists on their side. They know this is a psychological aspect of trading, and they figure out when they could get people to really buy. So they load up whenever it drops like crazy. Look at this selling climax right here where my cursor is. They load up the shares. They let this thing run up, then they sell, they make a profit, then they have it drop. That's just one example of what they could do. And they do this because they like to dictate these prices so that they can make more money, they can accumulate more shares. And I do believe that a lot of institutions are accumulating Neo shares, and it does look like it's primed for a big run for 2022, maybe even up until 2023, because it really depends on how much they extend it. Now, these runs for Neo, they can be extended because you can break the chart based on fractals. Now, 2022 is probably going to be a really good year for Neo, and I want to show you guys what I think is going to play out. So fundamentally, Neo is going to crush it, but what is their share price going to do? Because this thing has been descending for quite a bit of time. So let's look at the chart from this perspective first and talk about what is it looking like. So right here, guys, we had that big run up in early January of, or I'm sorry, January 8th. Yeah, early January of 2021. Neo trades sideways, right? And this is where the Wyckoff accumulation schematic starts. So institutions let this thing run. Okay, then we have this drop right here with the preliminary support, which is why we see green candles bouncing off right here. Then we drop one last time, right? This is the huge drop for Neo. This drop right here represents the selling climax, the maximum amount of selling. But then we have this big automatic reaction because when this thing was oversold, institutions loaded the boat, and then they let us, people like you and me, start loading shares to get that automatic reaction. Now, we have this first sell test right here. We run up again, and then another Wyckoff chart shows two sell tests. I think this one I think there's one right here. I know this chart doesn't show it, but this basically represents this right here, right? This big drop right here is shown. Now, even though I would say that we did drop a little bit lower in the spring, and this chart doesn't show it as well, this is what can happen as well. Now we have this big reaction, this big run up. That's the first TP, right? Then after that first TP, we start descending like crazy. This is kind of like this right here. Then we run up again. That's the final run up before we dip like crazy into the spring phase. Now, Neo moving like this represents how on earth these institutions are dictating it. And you guys can see there's some phases that are like really stretched out, other ones are not. It's not perfectly aligned. My point is this spring phase could last a couple of days, it could last a couple of months. It does not matter. As long as it happens, the accumulation schematic can continue, right? And now look at this right here. Institutions must have been loading up on the shares when they let this thing drop like crazy. And I want to maybe draw out some levels of resistance for you guys, but I don't necessarily think I have to do that for you guys to see how this is going to play out. So going into the future, I want you guys to look at this right here. Basically, there are moments where this is stretched out and we can have many bottoms, right? See how we have three bottoms here, but there are two bottoms here. So it's not always going to be perfect. But this is indicating that Neo is primed for a big run pretty soon. Am I going to guarantee that? No. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. Now, the question is, when is it going to happen? Maybe what could end up happening is we run up, right? We drop, we have the test, or maybe we already saw it. We run up again. We may hit the mid 30s by February. It's possible. Or Neo could squeeze with many big stocks in January. That's also a possibility. But I think Neo's going to have a big run up to the high 30s, dip a little bit, trade a little bit sideways. And I think we might continue to see moves kind of maybe like a bit of a dip. It might trade sideways for a little bit of time, kind of drop. It'll drop, and we might slowly hit our way to 80. That's where I think this thing is going to go before the year ends. Now, I could be totally wrong. I know that, but my price target is $80 for the year end. It's maybe more stretched out. So I can stretch this out a little bit more for you guys. Right? And this is where I see Neo going. Now, does that mean I don't believe in Neo? The answer is, of course, that does not mean that. It means that I believe this thing is going to run up, but I think that $100 is going to come towards the start of 2023. That's my more realistic price target, but I could be wrong, guys. This thing might just explode and go to over $100 a share. That's also possible because of the big updates that keep on coming. Now, does that mean it's going to happen or I'm guaranteeing it? The answer is no, I'm not guaranteeing anything. But I am telling you that based off these indicators, it's very probable we're going to see runs like this. And from a long, time frame, you could even use Elliott wave to describe or at least show or encompass the run that Neo is probably going to have. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm very, very bullish because of many factors. I talk about it in this channel. The fact that Neo is part of a big, big, big umbrella of huge EVs that are going to grow with a full on potential. And the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that, look, I get it. I know a lot of people say Neo is based in China. That's not the best place for it to be in. And yeah, sure, there's truth behind that. But at the end of the day, guys, Neo has never been hit by extremely major regulations that really, really caused the share price to drop like crazy. And on top of that, guys, remember, Neo is going to be based all over the world. They're not just in China. They're going to be in the US. They're going to be in Denmark. They're going to be all over Europe, 25 countries within the next 5 years. They're primed for a big run up, in my opinion. And their fundamentals are just so great. I mean, you can't just walk away on this company. With that said and done, guys, I'm super, super bullish for Neo. I really believe in this company, guys, and I'm not losing faith. I do see this thing breaking all-time highs again within the next, I would say, 12 months from now. And I could be wrong when I say that, but I still think it's possible. So I don't want to lose faith. I don't want you guys to think otherwise. And I know my predictions may not be perfect, but eventually, and I do believe it, I do believe eventually I will be right. I don't know if it's going to take an extra couple of months. I don't know. But I know eventually this thing is going to run, and I just can't wait for that day. So I thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Neo to the moon, and peace out.